Salvatore, I'm so excited about being in your beautiful space.
Thank you for coming.
So I want to start by you introducing yourself and introducing this beautiful creation that you worked on.
So I'm Salvatore Lavallo, and I'm the founder of Pomoja Art Projects. And we're sitting in the Nbda Art Gallery with Pomoja Art Projects booth here at Abu Dhabi Art. And it is the first time ever that a Tanzanian gallery is at an international art fair outside of Africa. So we're very excited to present Tanzania to Abu Dhabi, present Tanzania to the world. There's very great art that is coming out of the country. And so today we're combining two contemporary artists with two modern artists, and we're excited to share.
I am so happy that I know this was on an independent level and a lot of work and a lot of engagement that you've done in the past with the Tanzanian artists, and to choose Abu Dhabi for their international first ever exposure in a fair. We're honored. As an Emirati, I'm honored, to be honest. And we love Tanzania, and I can't wait for people to explore the art and learn more about it. And so tell us a little bit about this space. How did you create this space?
No, so I'm the honored one because I've been in Abu Dhabi 15 years, but also for 15 years I've been going to Tanzania.
Yeah.
It's where I converted to Islam 13 years ago. I'm always going between the two countries, and there's also a long history between the two countries.
Yeah.
Of trade, of language, of people. And so it's been a really exciting way for me in my personal life to bring these two countries that I call home together, but also for them to come together. For the booth, it's all about perspectives. So all of the artists are looking at different perspectives of the self, of the relationship between this, how we view ourselves and how others view us, between nature and the home. The two contemporary artists that we have are Tora Gindo, who has this loofah piece behind me, and these wood and these coffee painted canvas behind me, as well as Ndari Mtake, who has these hill scenes behind me. They're two of the best contemporary artists right now working in Tanzania. So I've been collecting from them for many years. I've been a patron of Abu Dhabi Art Fair for many years, so it was a natural way for me to bring the artists that I'm interested in here to the fair. And then the modern artists that we're showing are the two grandfathers of Tanzanian art, Edward Saidi Tingatinga and George Lulonga. And so we wanted to show, because a lot of people are saying, oh, African art is coming out of nowhere, or like, oh, it's like suddenly I'm seeing African art, but it's existed for thousands of years, and within the modern and contemporary art scene, it's existed for decades. And so we wanted to show that art history in the booth as well.
Salvatore, I know that this piece is pretty special.
This is really kind of the showstopper of the booth. We've had so much interest of people just coming up and touching it and being interested, because loofah, which is what it's made from, is something that is very familiar in a lot of cultures. And so it's exciting to see a material that we're so familiar used in a new way. And this is actually something that the artist Tora farms with her mother and a group of women in Morogoro in central Tanzania. And it's the idea of connecting nature to the body. Obviously, we're using this to clean, but also to give pride to the work that they're producing. So this is something that's in the bathroom, it's something that's like used to like.
But it's coming out of the soil.
Exactly, it's coming out of the soil. And actually, these darker pieces is a soil pigment. So she takes the soil from where the loofah is farmed, turns it into a pigment that then she dyes the loofah with. And so it's really this idea of connecting identity to home, to the land, to the body. And I think that's where it goes back to this idea of art being universal. We all have connections to home. We all have connections to the land. And of course, we all have connections to our body and to ourselves. And so there really is this moment of meditation as you look at each piece that's like sewn together, and it's sewn with the community. So you're getting this energy of the togetherness of the community, sewing it all as one.
I love this, the idea of bringing people to actually work on the piece with you.
Exactly, and we really we've had a lot of institutional interest in it and thinking about having a much bigger piece. And so Tora is also training some of the women who farm the loofah to be part of the process, to be part of beautifying this product that they've been growing for generations. And so we would love someday to see a really enormous piece.
You know what I love about the work of this kind? It's not just producing beautiful creation, but it's also providing job opportunities, bringing women to be more proactive in the art scene. They've always been proactive, but like to give them a bit more prominent way of being, part of the art. I love that. I think that's very special. I think people need to know about that more.
100%. It brings pride to a community. It brings reflection to the individual that's viewing it. And
And identity, you know, we talk about identity, something that a lot of people right now crave. They've been looking for forever. And I think this is one of the things that no matter what you do, you want to go back to your roots. And this is a perfect piece.
And that's where her practice started. I mean, she began creating art when she was studying abroad and she was missing home and she was in science classes, but she was drawing, and she was drawing with like a chalk that she had from home, and she was thinking about, okay, this connection of this materiality from home that connects me back while I'm in a foreign space. And so all of the materiality that she uses with the soil pigments, with the loofah, with the mosquito net, with the gauze, with the coffee painted canvas, all of these are materials from Tanzania, from her homes, that she's really close with the farmers and producing this beautiful work out of something that brings her back home. And so that's kind of been the energy that has pushed through her entire
How
practice.
did you connect with the artist? Did you buy from her first, or like how did you find her?
So I have been going to Tanzania the last 15 years, 2 farms in the center of Tanzania where I support a small village. And there was about 5 years ago, I was in the capital, and there's one gallery there, and I stumbled in it looking for a modern artist, and they said, have you seen these new contemporary artists? And they first introduced me to Ndare, who produced these works behind us. And I was amazed because I only, thought of the bigger names that we can see in auctions. And then I asked, let's build a collection. Let me meet these artists, because I was already collecting a lot in Abu Dhabi. So we put together a dinner of about 10 artists in Tanzania that I had collected from. And they said, can we bring an 11th artist? And I was like, that's fine. And they brought Tura. And at the very end of the dinner, she showed me her portfolio, and I was just blown away. And then the next day, I got a few pieces from her, and that was maybe 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
And so it's been an exciting journey together ever since.
I feel like Tanzania for you, with the personal stories that you have, I can tell from the way you speak about it, even in your eyes, how it means so much to you.
It really does. I think it's where I converted, so that's obviously a very deep connection.
But also the people, you love the people. I can see that.
And I've been there since I was 20 years old, and so and in a small village. It wasn't in the capital. It wasn't this kind of high life thing.
Yeah.
It was on a small farm in a small village, 9 hours by dirt road into the center of the country. And so I think spending 10 years really deeply there, learning the language with the people, it created this place for Tanzania in my heart. And only in the last 5 years with the art, it was this idea of maybe I connect my 2 homes, because there's a similar deep connection with Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
And so this is such a cool opportunity now to combine those 2 homes, the love of Abu Dhabi, the love of Tanzania.
And you came to Abu Dhabi as a student.
I came right after Tanzania to Abu Dhabi. So I flew from East Africa to the UAE for the first time.
And you stayed.
And I stayed.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think you have to plan a trip where I could come with few Emirati artists and make a visit.
So we're already talking with a grassroots institution in Dubai about doing a residency switch. So
Nice.
having a Emirati artist go to Tanzania, Tanzanian artists come here. And we're also speaking with the Friends of Abu Dhabi Art about doing a trip of patrons of the fair to Tanzania.
Can you count me in,
yeah, of
please?
course. And
I'd love to support.
A few days of studio visits, and then a few days of maybe safari and going to the farm and to the
Listen, I
village.
don't care about the safari and all of this. I just want cultural experience.
Perfect, we're done.
So you're the best guy for that.
We're going to make it happen. This is the very beginning of a long journey between Abu Dhabi and Tanzania art that I'm going to be very excited to be a small part of making it happen.
You know, one of the things that we worked on with District 1795 is, especially for the learning section, I wanted to make sure that it's so diverse and multilingual that any person, any child in any part of the world, as long as they have access to internet, they can be exposed to art and culture. And I think with this ideas that you have of exchange and taking patrons and I think we have opportunity to also expand this to places and with artists from all over the world really, and make art accessible, make art available for people, not just to acquire, but also to learn about the artists, their histories, either living or, that like they have to know about these artists. I think this is a beautiful thing. We need ideas like that more and more.
100%. And also, I think it's important to see that that's been happening for a long time, but maybe being underappreciated. So George Lalonga, one of the masters we have here, he had a show in DC in the early 90s. And Keith Haring, who's a world famous artist now, said that George Lalonga was his biggest inspiration, but no one really knows that fact. And so it's exciting to see that even Tanzanian art has been influencing contemporary art for decades, and yet people aren't aware of that. And I think there's a lot of African elements in a lot of contemporary art that are maybe like underappreciated, and so it's nice to see that the origins are being exposed as well.
And not only that, like I feel a lot of people in the creative economy or creative sector focuses on like beautiful things, beautiful spaces, beautiful collecting, but for me it's all about the impact. So when you were mentioning about this art piece, that the women within the community, they're being trained, they're being part of the story, they're being part of, I love it. I love it. That for me is impact beyond just the art. The art
patronage goes beyond collecting. It's you're impacting the artist, of course, but you're also impacting the people that they're impacting.
Yeah.
So I think understanding the levels of that impact is important. And I think it's, people are asking me now that I'm having this booth, like, oh, are you trying to be a gallerist, or are you a dealer, or what is it? But I really think I'm just supporting these artists and being a patron to them in new ways to try and help get their impact for a place that I love.
Yeah, I love that. Impact for me is I'm going to retire soon, and that's all I want to focus on. Impact projects, impact initiatives, things that can really make a difference in the world, and I think this is one of them.
Absolutely.
So if someone have never owned anything from artists in Tanzania, what tips would you give them?
I think it's a perfect time to get into the market because there's so much good art coming. What I always say is, if a tree falls and nobody hears it, does it make a sound? It's the same if great art is produced and nobody sees it as great art. So what we're trying to do is to show this exposure. So this is just the tip of the iceberg of the art that exists in Tanzania. And in a lot of these emerging markets in the global south, as collectors, you have a really exciting opportunity to get in really early into a market such as Tanzania. Yeah,
I think it's also an important step for galleries to be very open-minded and embrace different type of arts, because the market is very diverse and there is a lot of hunger for African art in general. And you mentioned something really important as well, specifically for Abu Dhabi and the UAE and Africa as a continent. We have strong ties with Africa. There's a lot of similarities in culture, and it's the gateway for a lot of the rest of the world to actually experience art in a different way. And it's just, for me personally, it's very special to see it in Abu Dhabi, because we could relate. Like this piece specifically for me, this is no strange. Like even the materials that has been used here is very much associated with our culture. And I'm pretty sure with the coffee pieces, like using coffee in some of the art pieces, this is so much, there's a lot of connection. People underestimate African art usually, but when you look at it and you study it, there's a lot of connection even with the rest of the world. So I think it's also an education piece for collectors and even emerging artists who wants to collaborate with different nations to understand these things.
100%, and Africa is such a vast continent. I mean, there's 54 countries in Africa.
Yeah.
I've personally actually visited all 54
Yeah,
countries.
He's a traveler too.
And that was like, purposely trying to go to every country and realize the diversity of each of the countries and understanding each of them. And like you said, I mean, these are the goods that are part of that trade. Like we see it in the language and in the music, but these goods that we're now creating the art from are things that we all connect to. On the other side of us, we have a piece made with mosquito netting. It's the idea of something that separates, and protects us. But also which is used all around the global south and all around the tropics. And so it's kind of this universality. So it's not just great African art, it's great art, and it's great universal art because it's talking about the self and it's talking about ideas of identity, ideas of home. And so I think that I want people to come into the booth and be excited to, yes, it's African art, but it's something that like reminds them of themselves and reminds them of their homes.
I always say like art is universal. You don't just link it to a specific location, but also I feel that this is a perfect time for African art to be celebrated. There's so much good that comes out of Africa, and I really, really admire the work that you're doing to support that vision as well on an independent, personal level. I know it's not easy, but you've kind of made it happen. I want to know what's next for you guys.
It's been really exciting, and there's been so much support. I think I have said for many years, I've told you as well, that I want to show Tanzanian art in the UAE. And so this really feels like a dream come true. And I'm trying to just like really be in that moment of being excited that this dream has come true and that we are showing African art in the UAE. And so I think what's next is we would love to come back next year. We would love to come with more artists from more countries. We would love to show how much beauty there is on the continent, how much exposure is needed for those artists. Because I think it's so exciting to find emerging artists, of course it's nice to walk around and see artists that you've seen grow over the years, but to be really struck by a piece and have it be new. So hopefully next year we'll be back. We'll have more pieces from more artists, and we'll be excited to share even more.
I think that's beautiful because, like, I always say, like, if you want to start collecting art, you know, you need to start not just with like the big ticket items, like the big artists. Start with emerging artists, and the work that you're doing, I'm doing, and a lot of people are contributing to in the creative economy is to drive that vision and to see, like, in Abu Dhabi we have the right ecosystem for that.
100%. It's been so supportive. All the fair has been so supportive in welcoming us. The other galleries have come and given me a lot of tips. The new collectors who've been buying the pieces, people just within the ecosystem. I mean, I really feel supported and loved, and I feel like we're all doing this together. And actually, Pomoja means together in Swahili. And there's a saying in Swahili, Tuko Pomoja, which means we are together. And I'm so happy we chose that name because I really feel the sense of togetherness here in the fair.
And to be honest, Salvatore, I have to give you credit for your hard work of engaging with the community, the art and culture community, not just here in Abu Dhabi, in the UAE in general. You know, you're proactive, you are very determined on what you want to do, and I think you will go forward a lot, not just, you know, with this project. I think you will do great things for art and culture in general. So I want to ask you about next year, given the fact that Freeze is going to be, you know, the new Abu Dhabi Art, I'd say. What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, inshallah, we'll be applying to come back. We're excited to see the types of galleries that will be coming, the types of collectors that will be coming, and to really continue for Abu Dhabi to be a hub to bring Global South art to the world.
Yeah. In terms of like appetite, from your experience, I know it's been a few days only, do you see that it's mostly Emirati collectors that are interested in the work that you've presented here, or is it international or mix?
It's been a mix. We've had collectors from India, Emirati, from London, from Asia. So we've actually, now that I think about it, every piece that's been bought has been from a new country.
That's
and
amazing.
That's been exciting for the artists as well to see that their works are going around the world. There's a few pieces that will be in like prominent UAE homes, so that's exciting because for me, I know that I'll be able to go and see the work again. Because it's obviously with art, you're getting an piece of energy from the artist. But I think because I'm a small part of this as well, I feel like there's part of an energy from me in the pieces. So I'm excited that a few of the best pieces will be staying in Abu Dhabi, but also excited that, you know, Abu Dhabi is this gateway to the world for African art as well.
I really hope that all the pieces you have here will find their forever home in Abu Dhabi, because honestly, I think there's huge appetite for this type of art. And, you know, like, I don't know, I have my eye on few pieces. I know a few of my friends have their eyes on few pieces. So I hope really this will work for you guys. Anything you'd like to add about the work that you're doing here that we haven't talked about?
No, I just thank you so much for having us, for always being such a good supporter, and looking forward to doing more together, inshallah.
I'm honored to support you and the artists and the community. It's just beautiful. Like, I really hope this will just grow and grow and grow.